Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a great spiritual teacher. He was the founder of the Sikh faith, a path followed by millions of people around the world. He was born at a time when society was divided. There were so many differences between people based on their religion, their caste, and their wealth. People were often judged not by who they were, but by the family they were born into. Guru Nanak Dev Ji came to this world to share a message of love, peace, and equality. He taught that there is only one God for all of humanity, and that we are all children of that one Creator. His teachings were simple, yet very powerful and profound. His life was a journey of spreading this divine wisdom. He did not just sit in one place and preach. Instead, he traveled far and wide to meet people from all walks of life. He walked thousands of kilometers, crossing mountains, deserts, and rivers. He went to busy cities and quiet villages. He visited the holy places of many different religions to share his message and to learn from others. He believed in dialogue and discussion, not in forcing his beliefs on anyone. His goal was to open people's minds and hearts to the truth that connects us all, a truth that was often forgotten in the rituals and rules of organized religion. The story of Guru Nanak Dev Ji is not just a historical account. It is a source of deep inspiration for people everywhere. He showed us how to live a spiritual life while also being a part of the world. He was a householder, a husband and a father. He worked as a farmer and a storekeeper. He demonstrated that one does not need to leave society and go to a forest to find God. God is within each of us and can be found through honest work, selfless service, and constant remembrance. His life is a beautiful example of humility, compassion, and unwavering faith in the divine. Today, on July 22, 2025, his message is more relevant than ever. In a world still facing division, conflict, and misunderstanding, Guru Nanak's teachings offer a path to unity and harmony. He taught us to see the divine light in every person, regardless of their background. He encouraged us to break down the walls that separate us and to build bridges of understanding and respect. The Sikh faith which he established is built on these foundational principles of oneness, service, and equality. His journey was not just for a specific time or place, it was a timeless gift to all of humanity, a light that continues to guide millions. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was born in the year 1469. His birthplace was a small village called Rai Boi di Talwandi. This village is now known as Nankana Sahib, a very holy place for Sikhs, located in modern-day Pakistan. He was born into a loving Hindu family. His father's name was Mehta Kalu, and he was the village accountant, a respected man in the community. His mother's name was Mata Tripta, and she was a woman of great kindness and piety. From a very young age, it was clear that Nanak was not an ordinary child. He had a calm nature and a very thoughtful mind that was always deep in contemplation. As a young boy, he was different from other children his age. While other kids would spend their time playing games, Nanak would often be found sitting alone, meditating on the name of God. He had a deep curiosity about the mysteries of life and the universe. He would ask questions that would surprise his elders and his teachers. He questioned the empty rituals and social customs that he saw around him. He could not understand why people were divided by caste and creed when they were all created by the same God. His heart was filled with compassion for the poor and the downtrodden, and he always looked for ways to help them. One famous story from his childhood illustrates his divine nature. His father gave him some money, 20 rupees, and asked him to go to the city to do a good business deal. The goal was to make a profit. On his way, Guru Nanak saw a group of holy men who were hungry. They had not eaten for many days. Seeing their condition, his heart filled with pity. He decided that feeding these hungry men was the best and truest business he could do. So he used all the money to buy food for them. He called this act Sacha Sauda, which means a true bargain. This showed his belief in selfless service from a very early age. His education was also a source of wonder. He was sent to the village school to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. However, he quickly learned everything his teachers could offer. He would often surprise them by explaining the deeper spiritual meaning behind the letters of the alphabet. He challenged the traditional ways of learning that focused only on worldly knowledge. He was more interested in the knowledge of the divine. His wisdom was not from books alone. It seemed to come from a higher source. It was clear to those with spiritual insight that this child was destined to bring a new message to the world. As Guru Nanak grew older, his parents became concerned about his lack of interest in worldly affairs. They hoped that marriage and family responsibilities would ground him. So they arranged his marriage to a kind and devoted woman named Mata Sulakni. The marriage took place, and Guru Nanak accepted his role as a husband with grace and responsibility. He did not see family life as a barrier to his spiritual path. Instead, he showed that one could be a dedicated spiritual seeker while also fulfilling one's duties to the family. This was a revolutionary idea at a time when many believed that one had to renounce the world to find God. Guru Nanak and Mata Sulakni were blessed with 2 sons. Their first son was named Sri Chand, and their second son was named Lakshmi Das. Guru Nanak was a loving and caring father. He provided for his family and spent time with his children, teaching them the values of honesty and compassion. He moved to a town called Sultanpur Lodi to work. His brother-in-law helped him get a job as a storekeeper in the service of the local ruler. He performed his duties with great honesty and integrity. Everyone was impressed by his work ethic and his fair dealings with all people. He was known for being generous, often giving away his own share to the needy. Even while living a normal family life, his spiritual quest never stopped. Every morning before sunrise, he would go to the nearby Kalibain River to meditate. He would spend hours in deep communion with the divine. It was during one of these morning meditations that he had his most profound spiritual experience. One day, he went to the river as usual but did not return for 3 days. The whole town was worried, and everyone thought he had drowned. But on the 3rd day, he reappeared. He was not the same person. He was enlightened, filled with a divine glow. His first words were, "Na koi Hindu, na koi Musalman," meaning there is no Hindu, there is no Muslim. This event marked the beginning of his mission. He was now ready to share the divine message he had received directly from God. He explained that all people are equal in the eyes of the Creator, and the labels of religion that divide us are meaningless. His family, especially his wife Mata Sulakni, supported him on his path, understanding the importance of his divine calling. He showed the world that one does not have to choose between a family and God. A truly spiritual life is one that balances worldly responsibilities with a deep, inner connection to the divine. His life as a householder became a perfect example for his followers. After his enlightenment at Sultanpur Lodi, Guru Nanak knew he could not keep this divine message to himself. He understood that it was his duty to share this truth with the whole world. So he decided to embark on a series of long spiritual journeys, which are known as the Udasis. These were not just travels, they were divine missions to awaken humanity. He was accompanied on many of these journeys by his loyal companion, a Muslim musician named Bhai Mardana. Bhai Mardana would play the rabab, a stringed instrument, while Guru Nanak would sing the divine hymns that came to him from God. Together, they traveled to spread light and love. His first journey took him east, across many parts of India. He visited important religious centers of both Hindus and Muslims. He went to places like Haridwar, a holy city for Hindus on the banks of the river Ganges. There he saw people throwing water towards the sun as an offering to their ancestors. Guru Nanak, in his unique way, started throwing water in the opposite direction. When people asked him what he was doing, he replied that he was watering his fields in Punjab. They laughed and said it was impossible. He then gently explained that if their water could reach the sun, which is millions of miles away, why couldn't his water reach his fields, which were much closer? He taught them that empty rituals have no meaning. His travels were not limited to India. For his second Udasi, he journeyed south, reaching as far as Sri Lanka. He met with spiritual leaders of different traditions, including Buddhist monks and Jain scholars. He engaged in respectful discussions, sharing his wisdom and learning from them. His third journey was perhaps the most remarkable. He traveled north into the Himalayas, reaching Tibet and engaging with Siddhas, the great yogis who lived in remote mountain caves. They were amazed by his spiritual wisdom and clarity. He taught them that isolating oneself from the world was not the true path. True spirituality lies in serving humanity. The fourth major journey took him west, to the heart of the Islamic world. He traveled to Mecca and Medina in Arabia, the holiest sites for Muslims. He also visited Baghdad in modern-day Iraq. In Mecca, he lay down to rest with his feet pointing towards the Kaaba, the sacred shrine. An angry custodian came and told him not to point his feet towards the house of God. Guru Nanak humbly replied, "Then please turn my feet in a direction where God is not." This simple response carried a profound message. God is everywhere, not confined to any one building or direction. Through these travels, he showed that the message of one God and one humanity was universal, meant for all people. The teachings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji are simple, practical, and honestly, incredibly profound. They can be summarized in three core principles that guide the Sikh way of life. The first and most important teaching is Ik Onkar, which means there is one God. Guru Nanak taught that the creator of the entire universe is one. This God is formless, timeless, and beyond human description. He is the same God for people of all faiths, whether they call him Allah, Ram, or by any other name. This belief in one God helps to break down the barriers between religions and promotes the idea that we are all part of one single human family under one creator. The second pillar of his teachings is Nam Japo, which means to remember and meditate on God's name. This is not just about mechanically repeating a word. It means keeping God in our hearts and minds at all times. It's about feeling the divine presence within us and around us throughout our daily lives. By remembering God, we cleanse our minds of negative thoughts like anger, greed, and ego. This practice helps to cultivate inner peace, humility, and a deep sense of connection with the divine. It reminds us that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and our ultimate purpose is to reunite with our source. The third principle is Kirat Karo, which translates to earn an honest living. Guru Nanak emphasized the importance of hard work and earning one's livelihood through honest means. He was against laziness and dependency on others. He taught that we should not cheat, steal, or exploit anyone. By working honestly, we lead a life of dignity and self-respect. This teaching also sanctifies everyday life, showing that work itself can be a form of worship when done with integrity and dedication. It bridges the gap between the spiritual and the material worlds, making our daily actions a part of our spiritual journey. Finally, Guru Nanak gave the teaching of Vant Chako, which means share with others. This principle encourages Sikhs to share what they have, whether it is their food, wealth, or time, with those in need. It is about selfless service and caring for the community. This teaching promotes compassion and fights against selfishness and greed. The practice of langar, the free community kitchen found in every Gurdwara, is a beautiful and living example of this principle. Everyone, regardless of their religion, caste, or social status, can sit together and share a meal as equals. These core teachings provide a complete and practical guide for a meaningful and ethical life. Guru Nanak Dev Ji was not only a great spiritual master but also a gifted poet. He did not write down his teachings in the form of a complex philosophical text. Instead, he expressed the divine truths he experienced in the form of beautiful, lyrical poetry. These divine hymns are known as Shabads or Bani. His words came directly from his heart, filled with love and devotion for the one Creator. He composed his poetry in the everyday language of the people, so that everyone could understand his message, not just the scholarly elites. This made his teachings accessible and relatable to all. Throughout his travels, whenever a divine revelation came to him, he would sing it. His companion, Bhai Mardana, would play the rabab, and the combination of the music and the profound words would mesmerize the listeners. This divine poetry was a powerful tool for spreading his message. Music and poetry touched the soul in a way that simple prose cannot. Guru Nanak composed 974 hymns, which are all preserved in the holy scripture of the Sikhs, the Guru Granth Sahib. His compositions form a significant part of this sacred book and include major works like the Japji Sahib, Asa Divar, and Sid Gosht. The Japji Sahib is a particularly important composition. It is recited by devout Sikhs every morning. It is a summary of Guru Nanak's core philosophy about the nature of God and the path to spiritual union. It is a long poem that provides a complete guide for a seeker of truth. It explains the concept of Ik Onkar and describes the qualities of the divine. It lays out the steps a person can take to overcome their ego and live in harmony with the divine will. His poetry is not just beautiful, it is a roadmap for spiritual living, filled with wisdom and practical guidance for daily life. The language of his poetry is simple, yet the meaning is incredibly deep. He used metaphors and examples from nature and everyday life to explain complex spiritual ideas. He spoke of the relationship between the soul and God as being like that of a bride and her beloved groom. He described the world as a vast ocean and God's name as the boat that can safely carry us across. His Bani is considered to be the word of God, revealed through him. For Sikhs, singing and listening to these hymns is a form of meditation and a way to connect directly with the divine wisdom of the Guru. Throughout his life and journeys, Guru Nanak Dev Ji left his divine mark on many places. These locations have become sacred sites of pilgrimage for Sikhs and are revered by people of many faiths. The most important of these is his birthplace, Nankana Sahib. This holy city in Pakistan is home to several historical gurdwaras, with the main one being Gurdwara Janam Asthan, built at the site of the house where he was born. Pilgrims from all over the world visit Nankana Sahib to pay their respects and feel the divine vibrations of the place where the Guru's life began. It serves as a constant reminder of his divine appearance on earth. Another deeply significant place is Sultanpur Lodi, in the state of Punjab, India. This is where Guru Nanak spent his early adulthood, worked, and had his profound experience of enlightenment. The Kali Bain, the small river where he used to meditate, still flows there. A beautiful Gurdwara, called Gurdwara Bear Sahib, stands at the spot where he would meditate under a BR or jujube tree. This place is considered the starting point of his mission. It was from here that he began his great journeys to spread the message of truth. Visiting Sultanpur Lodi allows one to connect with the transformative period of the Guru's life. Perhaps the most cherished place associated with Guru Nanak's later life is Kartarpur Sahib. After finishing his long travels, he settled here on the banks of the river Ravi. He spent the last 18 years of his life in Kartarpur, which means the abode of the Creator. Here, he established the first Sikh community. He put his teachings into practice, working as a farmer and living a simple life. He established the institutions of Sangat, or congregation, and Pangat, or eating together in Langar. Kartarpur became a model for the Sikh way of life. Today, the Gurdwara Darbar Sahib Kartarpur stands on this sacred ground in Pakistan, connected to India by a special corridor of peace. These holy sites are not just historical monuments, they are living centers of faith and spirituality. They are places where the Guru's presence can still be felt. Other important sites include Gurdwara Panja Sahib in Pakistan, which commemorates an event where he stopped a large boulder with his hand, leaving his handprint on it. Another is Gurdwara Pathar Sahib in Ladakh, where he is said to have subdued a demon. Each of these sacred places tells a story from the Guru's life and reinforces his teachings of compassion, humility, and the power of faith. They are footprints of his incredible journey, guiding humanity for centuries. One of the most beautiful aspects of Guru Nanak Dev Ji's life was his deep respect for all religions and all people. He lived in a time of great religious conflict between Hindus and Muslims in India. He saw this division as a source of immense suffering and ignorance. His central message, Na koi Hindu, na koi Musalman, was a powerful call for unity. He taught that these religious labels were man-made, and that, in the eyes of God, we are all simply human beings. He believed that the essence of all true religions was the same: love for God and compassion for humanity. The outer rituals and dogmas were what created the differences. During his travels, he made a special effort to visit the holy places of other faiths. He went to Hindu temples in Haridwar and Varanasi, Muslim mosques in Mecca and Baghdad, and Buddhist monasteries in the Himalayas. He did not go there to criticize or convert people. He went there to engage in respectful dialogue. He would listen to the learned men of those faiths, share his own divine insights, and find the common ground that united them. He wore a unique attire that was a blend of Hindu and Muslim styles, symbolizing his message that he belonged to all and all belonged to him. He challenged the hypocrisy he saw in all religions, but he never disrespected the faiths themselves. For example, he criticized priests who performed empty rituals without understanding their meaning, and he challenged religious leaders who used their position to exploit the poor. His criticism was always aimed at the falsehood, not the faith. He encouraged everyone to be a true follower of their own path. He would say to a Muslim, "Be a true Muslim," and to a Hindu, "Be a true Hindu." To him, a true Muslim was one who was compassionate and truthful, and a true Hindu was one who was pure of heart and kind to all. His message of equality was radical for his time. He completely rejected the caste system, which divided Hindu society into high and low classes. He taught that all human beings are born equal because they are all created by the same God. To put this teaching into practice, he started the tradition of langar, the free community kitchen. In the langar, everyone, rich or poor, king or commoner, man or woman, from any caste or religion, sits together on the floor and eats the same food. This was a powerful social revolution. It demonstrated in a very practical way that in the court of the Guru, all are equal. This legacy of interfaith respect and human equality is a cornerstone of Sikhism. The legacy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji is vast, profound, and continues to shine brightly in the world today. He was not just the founder of a new religion, he was a revolutionary spiritual thinker who offered a path of love and unity for all of humanity. His greatest legacy is the Sikh faith itself, a community of over 25 million people who follow his teachings of one God, honest living and selfless service. He laid a strong foundation that was built upon by the 9 Sikh gurus who followed him, culminating in the eternal Guru, the Guru Granth Sahib. This sacred scripture preserves his divine words, ensuring his light will never fade. His teachings on equality have had a lasting impact on society. In a world still struggling with discrimination based on race, religion, gender, and social status, his message is a powerful reminder that we are all one. The institutions he created, like Sangat and Pangat, continue to be powerful tools for social change. The Langar, the free community kitchen, is a global phenomenon, with gurdwaras around the world feeding millions of people every day without any discrimination. This practice is a living embodiment of his compassion and his vision of a world where no one goes hungry and everyone is treated with dignity. Guru Nanak's life also serves as a model for interfaith harmony. At a time when religious intolerance is on the rise, his example of engaging in respectful dialogue with people of all faiths is more important than ever. He showed that it is possible to be firm in one's own beliefs, while also being open and respectful towards others. He taught us to look for the universal truths that connect all religions, rather than focusing on the external differences that divide us. His legacy encourages us to build bridges of understanding and to see the divine presence in people from all backgrounds. In conclusion, Guru Nanak Dev Ji was a divine messenger whose light illuminated the world. His journey was one of immense courage, compassion, and wisdom. He challenged injustice, broke down social barriers, and gave humanity a simple and practical path to connect with the divine. His legacy is not just for Sikhs, it is a gift for the entire world. His teachings of oneness, service, and equality are timeless and universal. As we navigate the challenges of the 21st century, the life and teachings of Guru Nanak Dev Ji continue to be a source of inspiration, guiding us towards a more peaceful, just, and compassionate world for all.
Ready for a history adventure? Join our community. Subscribe to World History, smash that like, share with friends, and drop your thoughts below. Let's make history together. See you in the comments.